Now more than ever, Lowe's knows you don't just want a low price, you want the lowest price. And with our lowest price guarantee, you can count on us for competitive prices on all your home improvement projects. If you find a qualifying lower price somewhere else on the same item, we'll match it. Lowe's, we help, you save. Price match applies the same item, current price at qualifying retailers. Exclusions and terms apply. Learn how we'll match price at lowes.com/lowest price guarantee.
With so many options, why choose Arizona State University?
For me, the only online option was ASU because of the quality. Their faculty was really involved with their students and care about your personal journey. The dedication to my personal development from my professors, that's been extremely valuable to me.
Earn your degree from the nation's most innovative university. Online. That's a degree better. Explore more than 350 plus undergraduate, graduate, and certificate programs at asuonline.asu.edu.
I know what you're doing, see it all too clear. I only taste the saline when I kiss away your tears. You really had me going, wishing on a star. But black holes that surround you are heavier by far. Believed in your confusion, so completely torn. Must have been that yesterday was the day that I was born. Not touched to examine, nothing left to hide. You really can't be serious, you have to ask me why. I say goodbye.
'Cause I am barely breathing and I can't find the air. Don't know who I'm kidding, imagining you care. And I could stand here waiting, a fool for another day. Waha, 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 waha. Waha, waha, waha. Dirty pop. Sorry, I'm sorry. That was okay.
I'm gonna do it every time. Hi everybody, welcome back to the Blackest Show About Nothing. It's Jaden XT. What's the tea?
Shit, how are
you? Still living through a genocide, several of them, and and people being disillusioned, but the Olympics are on and that's okay with me.
Sure. Shall I get into
Yes.
the updates?
Yes.
The terrible way to go. Well, first and foremost, before I get into the updates, I just want to, so this weekend I met several lovely individuals who came and said hello, out and about in the streets of Brooklyn. And what really, 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 really warmed my heart, outside of the fact that you all were not weird. Oof, I loved it. Just glow
I love
like
when niggas ain't weird.
no,
Oh my
I mean,
gosh.
when I tell you not one weird nigga, everybody was just like, came to say what's up, show love. But what really warmed my heart is every single person said, I really appreciate the weekly updates.
Yeah.
The fact that you all are tuning into these as rough as they are, I'm doing my absolute best. I'm so glad that they are resonating with you, and that they are providing some sort of information for you to go and continue that further and continue to read. But I appreciate you all, because that was the very specific thing that each of them said, and so I'm really grateful for that. And with that being said, we are currently on day 298 of the ongoing genocide in Gaza. There was a school massacre in Deir el-Balah, which is in central Gaza. The IOF killed 30 plus individuals, including 15 kids, and injuring over 100 people in a school sheltering thousands of displaced people. The news is going to be a little rough this week. So, I'm going to give you the and I don't even feel like it's fair to say trigger warning for this type of information because it's awful, but it's what's happening. And if it's what's happening to individuals, the least we can do is tune into it so that we are clear about what's going on. So
Absolutely.
but in the efforts of not wanting to, set anybody off, I will give you all trigger warnings. So there were Israeli attacks on South Gaza. They continue, and 4 children were killed in what was considered a quote unquote safe zone. There was an Israeli airstrike on tents housing displaced people in that quote unquote safe zone of Al Mawasi, which is in the south of Gaza, which killed 5, including a baby girl. Another airstrike in Khan Yunis, which is the south of Gaza, killed 10 as IOF advanced into 3 towns in Khan Yunis, Al Qarara, Al Zana, and Bani Suhaila. Israeli forces raided Balata refugee camp in Nablus, I believe, which is in the West Bank, 4 times in 24 hours. They raided 4 times in 24 hours, killing 2, including a teenager, injuring 22 by a drone strike and live ammunition. So they are ramping up their disgusting efforts.
And I figured this would happen during the Olympics. Like
Absolutely.
I figured
What do we
that
talk about with the distractions?
Yeah.
Also, the IOF was firing at ambulances arriving at the scene. So
Disgusting.
What's really happening right now is an extreme targeting of children and teenagers because what do teenagers and children who go through this, they want to resist. And so outside of just wanting to wipe them off the face of the planet and not wanting these younger generations who are the ones who create the future generations, outside of that, which is ethnic fucking cleansing, you all can't even look at children as children. You can't even look at children as children. As I reported last week, a polio epidemic was officially declared in Gaza as the health crisis worsens due to a lack of sanitary conditions. Continued Israeli bombardment further hinders vaccine distributions, specifically for Palestinians. They are vaccinating the IOF soldiers, but not the Palestinians. This is very intentional. IOF escalates attacks on South Lebanon, killing 2 and injuring 3 near the Israeli-Lebanon de facto borders. So, and this is where it gets very disturbing. A Gazan detainee was sexually abused and sexually assaulted and sodomized by 10 IOF soldiers. Cowards. At SDE Teeman prison, which is essentially a concentration camp. The individuals were brought in for questioning, and the settlers, quote unquote, the colonizers, broke into the military base and fought the police, protesting on behalf of the 10 cowards who were being questioned, just calling them heroes. They didn't deserve to be there being questioned. 10 of them gang sexually assaulted. I'm trying not to use the word. One man, that he is hospitalized in critical condition as he cannot walk right now. Another man was sodomized with the hose of a fire extinguisher, and they turned it on. They are currently detaining Palestinians in cages. They're handcuffed. They're blindfolded. Some of them are naked, or they're naked with diapers. One man had both of his hands amputated by the IOF because the cuffs created gangrene. These are not isolated incidents. These are concentration camps. This is what is happening on a daily basis with hundreds upon hundreds of Palestinians watching this happen to one of their people. This is disgusting. This is beyond disgusting. I don't even have the words anymore. Currently, we're on day 473 of the ongoing genocide in Sudan. There were clashes a few days ago and reports that the RSF took over the city of Al-Suki, which is in Sinnar State. The RSF shelled an Abu Shak IDP camp in El Fashir, which claimed the lives of 2 and left 8 others injured. They also shelled a newly reopened hospital in El Fashir, which is part of their systematic targeting of healthcare facilities. So this is intentional. The SAF airstrikes reported in Al-Alala. I know I'd be fucking these names up, and I apologize in advance. Area of the White Nile State, so they're still airstriking. Displacement camps in Kassala and Gedarif were flooded today following heavy rains. So you combine that with the collapsing healthcare system, and the rainy season puts millions of lives at further risk of disease and or death. So we want to be very mindful of that. There's still continued shelling in El Fashir. 22 were killed the other day and 17 were injured. And so there's also been suspected use of chemical weapons by the RSF. Some arrived in the hospital with chemical burns. So they are constantly still targeting these civilians, and these civilians are getting caught in the midst of this. And on top of that, the sexual assault happening in Sudan to little girls as young as 9 years old is rampant. It's happening on a daily basis. And because it is a conservative culture and community, a lot of those girls cannot even get abortions without a police report. Where do you think police reports are happening when you have 2 groups that are literally trying to claim power, and in the process of trying to kill each other, they are destroying the lives of the civilians?
Yeah.
They are looting civilians' cars. They are robbing them. And they are sexually assaulting these children and these women. Do you know some of these children and women have had, and obviously this information is via Sarah, BS on Blast. I just hold her. I hold her so deep for sharing this information on a daily basis so that we are in the know, because I know that has to be heavy. But she reported that a lot of these girls and women have had the genital mutilation, where
female circumcision.
Yes, they've had that. They are still being sexually assaulted. They are tearing through that. This is insane. This is insane. So you got sexual assault, you've got famine, you've got disease, and then you got straight up and down just violence and murder and killing. And then you have us over here.
Yeah.
Fighting about two sides of niggas. One's fighting about you need to vote blue no matter what, and the other one's like, I'm fucking sick of this shit and you are stupid for voting. And honestly, none of it is helpful.
No.
None of it is helpful.
No.
Shut the fuck up and do what you're going to do. But division is not what we need right now. So you just shut the fuck up, do what you plan on doing, keep yourself educated, make sure that your decision is based off of your values. But attacking one another is not the fuck it right now. And when you hear about this rampant violence, I hope you feel fucking stupid, screaming at each other on the goddamn internet with your fucking thumbs.
Yeah. We
are clear. I'm not talking about these raggedy ass motherfuckers who don't have brains. We are all very clear. 45's not a motherfucking, that is not an option. That is not a viable option. Nobody's even thinking in that direction. But over here, we don't have time to be fighting each other.
Right.
That ain't it. So I'm not telling you what to do. I'm not telling you what not to do. What I am telling you to do is shut the fuck up and do whatever it is you're going to do. Yeah. And that's it. That's all I got today. Yeah. Links always provided in the description box so that you may continue to go and do your research and your reading.
Yeah. I don't have any political news today.
I think that's enough.
Corner. I think you said it all.
Thank you.
Let's take a break, but before we do that, let's pay some bills. And we'll get to the lighter segment or the lighter.
Oh, you shut the fuck up and do what you're gonna do. That needs to be the motto for the world.
Yeah. Shut the fuck up and do what you're gonna do. Sure. Say what you saying.
Say what you say, or don't say nothing. Actually,
don't say nothing.
Please.
Just shut up. God. Thank you for tuning in each and every week. Tell a friend, tell a friend, tell a friend that we're here with brand new episodes every Friday, anywhere you get your podcasts. Subscribe to us on Patreon. It's either $9.99 or $12.99. $12.99 gets you a little bit more. And we have a Wang Dang Doodle on there. I will say, shout out to all of you who came out to our Big Brother watch. I do one with, every week, every Thursday, Latoya, Asante, and I will be coming to you week to week via Twitter, Instagram, and Jaden XD's YouTube channel, which is also featured on our Patreon.
Hey.
You get access to live eviction immediately after the episode of Big Brother on Thursday. So around 9 p.m. Yeah, I know.
Oh, they need to do something. That's like master bedroom. They need to change that.
No, niggas get evicted for good reason.
Okay. Worst roommate ever.
Yeah. And I low-key wish you would watch this season because I'm really interested in what your thoughts about Angela, because she is unhinged. But I can, Big Brother is a lot of show.
It's always a bitch named Angela.
Yeah. She's a 50-year-old white woman who is unhinged. Unhinged, it would be a compliment. She is.
But don't I have to, isn't this like a daily show?
Yeah.
No,
it wouldn't work for you.
I never will.
You can watch it, even the casual stuff, but even still, that comes on 3 times a week.
3 times? Come on.
In order to be a fan of Big Brother,
you have to be a fan.
You have to barely watch the casual episodes, which is with Julie Chen and Sunday, Wednesday, Thursday.
Okay.
But you got to watch the live feeds, which is 24/7. So you have to. So whenever I get a chance, I pop in. But there's also Twitter accounts who summarize things for you and give you clips and give you digests. So Big Brother Twitter or Big Brother TikTok or whatever the fuck you follow is helpful in that regard. Okay. But yeah, we're doing it every week. Thank you for tuning in. We had almost 2,000 people.
Yes, come through.
Yeah. So hopefully there's more. And it's something that we all really enjoy talking about, reality TV competition shows. And,
absolutely. And you, Toya, and Asante are the 3 Big Brother people that I know.
Yeah.
Hard body stands. So,
and I know we'll be having guests on. I think we're supposed to be having Tiffany from Big Brother coming on and Tiffany from Survivor.
Nice.
Coming on.
Duh.
Yeah. So we have.
I want to come on that episode.
Yeah, come on. And we had take questions. So it's a good time. It's a really good time. Join our Discord. It's free to join. Subscribe to us here on YouTube. It's freer than you and me, where you get full 90-day recaps every week.
Yes.
We're back to 90 Day Fiancé the other way. And it's a mess.
And I think it's about to pick up some more.
Yeah, it is. And so, but yeah, look at the Discord, look at the description box for everywhere you're listening. You have news resources, you have, and all the links to where to find us. DeLo is still on sale. All that good stuff.
Yeah.
So, this week we are, because it is a season premiere week of Love After Lockup. This episode is free everywhere on YouTube, Patreon, so you can watch our visuals in full this week, anywhere you can. And we'll be back after these messages where we'll talk about our weeks and Love After Lockup. Hit it, Claude.
After these messages, we'll be right back.
That ear-piercing scream is an unruly child on a transatlantic flight to New York. The passengers describe an 8-hour flight from hell with non-stop and nerve-jangling screaming and fussing. They even covered their ears to drown out the 3-year-old.
And we're back. How was your week, by the way? How was your week?
Oh, it was good. Noah flew by herself for the first time
That's right, Queen.
as an unaccompanied minor. My sister
Did
called
she
her.
get the wings? Do
No,
they
I
give
don't. I don't
wings?
think they give
Because,
wings anymore. I thought I was waiting when I was at the counter with her, and I was like, "Are you gonna give it?" And then I was like, "Well, maybe the flight attendants will give us some wings." I was like, "These motherfuckers in this economy are cheaper. Y'all don't even give the kids fucking wings anymore. They gave them mini, Oreos and lollipops and all kinds of shit that like they don't need to have at 8:00 in the morning."
But then again, niggas be at the bar at 8:00 in the morning.
This is also listen. Who did I tell you I saw at the bar in the airport? TGI Fridays bar in the airport. The lady with all them kids. But all I'm saying, which I guess if anybody deserves to be at a bar, she does. With her nutty ass. But anyway,
Chris Rogers ran into Kiki Palmer at an airport bar once.
Kiki Palmer.
And
I ran into Wyatt
early in the morning. I'm like, niggas like. And even the last time when I went to visit my mother and I had an early morning flight, like niggas be posted. Let me get a vodka cran.
Yeah.
It's 7:36.
Can I have a Bloody
morning.
Mary? First of all, white men have been drinking like that since the beginning of time. Yeah. Since they stole liquor, they've been doing this. And I don't know what they drank before that. Maybe each other's pee, but
yeah,
that sounds about. Right.
Based off like incel behavior, that makes total sense.
It does. It does. I just came up with that on the fly, but it does track.
Either their own pee or each other's pee or sweat.
And the problem with sweat is it doesn't produce enough at a time.
I don't know what they did.
Although I know they probably licked each other. Y'all ate mummies. Anyway. Anyway, so yes, Noah flew by herself for the first time, and that was an experience. So me and Tristan had a couple days, kid free. So we hung out. Like we got to hang out, and it was a good time. Went outside. And we were like, all right, let's go get food. Let's go sit in the park. Let's go, So we went out and just kind of kicked it in the crib. Binged a whole bunch of Abbott Elementary because he hadn't seen season 2, and then we hadn't seen season 3. So binged a whole bunch of Abbott Elementary cooked food. Just like it was nice. It was nice.
Oh.
How was yours?
Oh, it was okay. It was work filled.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was a lot of work filled. I did, however, begin a deep clean of my house. That is an undertaking, let me tell you. And then you'd be like, damn, I don't have anything in my house for real. But then you'd be like, when you go through things, you'd be like, I haven't worn
so
this
much
in
shit.
forever. Like, what am I?
Much shit.
Like, what are we doing here? So now I have like a huge bag of clothes to give away to an org. Like,
yes.
I just
Oh, and suggestion for donation, just a heads up, not even just not donation, but in general, when you're doing your sorting, because this has happened to me so many times. I love a purge, but also sometimes you get so fucking happy that you purge everything, and then a couple years down the line, you're like, whatever happened to that shirt that I blah? So give yourself, like, have your hard no pile. Don't be one of those people that's scared to let go. But also, if you're waffling, you don't have to get rid of it immediately. If you find after a couple times that you keep considering it, then then it's probably time to get rid of it. But just be intentional.
Yeah, no, that's true. My rationale always is, when I'm giving stuff away or whatever, it's like, oh, this is fast fashion. So this is something that I could always replace, or I can, you know what I mean? Like,
yeah, that kind of stuff. Yeah,
Yeah,
And
like
don't donate to
there's
fucking Goodwill or Salvation Army.
Oh no, well I
Not you. I know, not you. I'm just talking to the people.
I don't believe in that.
Like, we talk to
No,
each other,
ma'am.
but we also,
Yeah, like I even had to tell my mother recently. She has switched to a local organization and not donating to Goodwill because she
Good.
this is actually something to talk about maybe on the Patreon, but she has it's been 2 years since my grandmother passed away.
Mhm.
So like she's now beginning to get rid of my grandmother's like clothing and stuff like that.
The purge you
And
talked
so
about. Okay.
yeah. And so like shout out to my mom actually, because she's retired now. I was like, are we good? How are you feeling about retirement? And she was like, oh hell yeah. She's having
Okay,
a
good.
time. Okay.
Yes.
And
What's she
so
doing? Gambling? What's she doing?
no, she her and her homegirl from high school, she's a little like sickly, I guess. And so my
Okay.
mother does like things for her, but they also just
That was one of
generally
the
hang and
blackest
go
things
out.
you've ever said. Just a heads up. I'm not laughing at that lady at all by any means.
No, I know. But
That was
no, that is true. That is true.
that was delightfully and devastatingly black.
Black people find community when they get older. Let me tell you,
because she's a little sickly, so I just bring her some meals from time to time.
That's I literally was quoting my mama.
I know you were. I know.
Yeah, I was just like, girl, okay. And but that's what she's been doing with her time. And I'm like, good for her.
Yes.
But I had to tell her about I was like, Goodwill like that.
No.
And she was like, I would have never known these things if nobody ever told me. You know
exactly.
what I mean?
I
was like, no one's chastising.
They named the shit Good fucking Will.
Yeah. I was like, they duped us from the title. And
Salvation Army. We are the militia that's going to that's where we need to start breaking down some names. Salvation Army. Y'all are a cult. But and half that shit ends up in landfills anyway. So
yeah, but that's what I was doing this past week. I've been trying to like get rid of stuff. I've had shit with tags on it. I'm like, girl, what are you doing?
What are you doing? You're never gonna wear this.
So, but yeah. So let us begin. We have brand new season of Love After Lockup. Filled with some people we have seen a couple of seasons ago, even some people we saw last season with Love During Lockup. We're gonna go through the first episode. There will be some couples that we miss, but that's just because we haven't seen them yet.
Yeah.
I know that I want to end with Zariah and Troy.
Oh, Black Amy Winehouse.
Uh-huh.
Okay.
And
so who would you like? Let's begin with Kim and Joey.
White Nicole Byer.
Yes. Oh my God. So Tristan watched this with me and I was like, do me and that lady look the same age? I was like, because I'm technically older than her. And he was like, God damn. He's like, not even a little bit. Not even a little bit. And I was like,
she looks grandma.
I'm not one of those people that's like, do I look 20? No, bitch, because you're 39. No, you don't look 20, bitch. Yeah, but also, I was like, do I look? And he was like, absolutely the fuck not.
No.
Don't be crazy, girl.
No. It's funny because my first note says she's 38.
I said 38.
Nobody else has an age and they know on here except her.
I mark everybody, but that was the note. Like that was glaring note. I give their details and then it was like, no, that was a note. This bitch is 38. It's crazy. So she's a teacher's aide. And her nigga is Joey, 39. AI face. What is this AI photo? What is this that they're doing?
I hate it.
It's nasty work.
It's weird. The word of this week has been weird.
Yeah, I don't like that.
Niggas has been weird.
Yeah, they have.
But yeah, that image was weird.
But
for
he's
all of them.
For all of them. But his is like, His was the first one where I was like, all right, something is very off here.
Mhm.
Joey has been locked up for 6 years for breaking and entering, larceny, and identity theft. And they are in Eden, North Carolina.
Mhm. So like we open with her going to see her dad Ed, who is fixing her car, nay, his car, because this is Joey's car. I- Kim is a trip. She's
Baby.
lived a life, and it was wild because you would
I'm
never
so
think
sick
that
of being
because,
lonely.
right, because she looks like a kindergarten teacher. But she is a
Of 20 years.
she is a serial monogamist.
Yeah.
So like as soon as before she even gets divorced finalized from somebody, she's already betrothed to somebody else with a kid on the way.
Now, since you know in the movies where they have like the little girl with the fairy wings on, and she's chasing all the little boys around, which is problematic idea, problematic image. But also, she was that little girl. Because
absolutely.
This bitch says she's never been single for more than 2 weeks since she was 5 years old.
Just like in My Girl.
Who, Veda?
Well, they were friends.
I was like, they were friends.
Yeah, they were
What you
friends.
mean?
Never mind. Anywho,
For stinging him. I'm sorry.
They she's known him all his life, or their lives. They've kind of grew up together in backwoods North Carolina.
Yeah.
And it's so funny because her daddy held a grudge, and I know he remembers the exact same date and time this specific event happened.
First of all, I said her father has held a grudge for 20 years. 25 years. What an icon.
Yeah. Yeah. I was like, work to live, stand on ground, stand on business.
I know her daddy a Taurus, but or a Scorpio.
Yeah.
Ooh, twins.
He don't forget nothing.
No.
So like she after she left her abusive ex-husband, because both of her marriages ended because they were abusive, I believe.
Yeah,
I know
she got a thing for addicts.
My problem is been doing opiates for 2.5 decades, on and off, you know what I mean? And now I'm going to take medicine, like, not to do that and see, like, a doctor to do all that stuff, like, stuff I should have been doing a long time ago.
Yes. So, all volatile from jump, right?
Yeah.
And so, about 25 years ago, Ed was like, I don't know if I like him because I know him and a friend snuck into my garage and stole a bike from me.
They stole my Schwinn.
Yes. And if I had proof, I would have pressed charges right then and there.
That's what I know who he votes for. But
but he said, I feel it in my shundo. I know that little white boy stole my shit.
Absolutely.
But Ed is just being a good protective dad, They are engaged. He proposed on a prison visit.
Yep.
She reconnected with him on she was feeling a little lonely, so she went on the prison apps.
No, he hit her.
Or he hit her up.
He messaged her in 2013. He was out for 100 days.
Oh yes, I forgot.
And then they reconnected in 2020, and then he proposed on a prison visit.
Yes. Yes. So far, she has spent about $15,000 on Joey, and that's between calling cards, phone conversations,
Shoes.
putting money on his books, and anytime he has gotten into trouble and he's had to pay niggas off in prison, she had to pay
niggas off in prison. Yep.
I've spent about $15,000 on Joey from sending him money. And I mean, we probably go through $200 a week just on the telephone and the car and the clothes and the shoes.
You have other niggas J-Pay situation to pay off your niggas people.
To pay off his civilian debts. That's crazy.
That's so fucking wild, bro. If that's not the biggest red flag, bloody flag. You know what I mean? Like, I don't get it. Now, they plan on getting married when he gets out, but the problem is that she's still technically married. And there's like a window that she's operating on.
Yeah.
Like, I was like, ooh, do you work at HR? Because she's very calculated. Because she's like, if I get divorced in 6 months and he gets out at 3 months, that means we have some time where I could be free, and just in case paperwork needs to get us situated. Like, she has it down to a science. It's just really weird because why are you should end whatever you got going on with ex-husband.
What do you call relationship addiction? Lonely.
Yeah. Sad.
Yeah, sad and lonely, because there's
and lonely. Yeah.
They're two different, but when you put them together,
And I wonder, like, is it like a mommy issue because mommy wasn't there, but daddy is? I don't know where her mama is.
Oh yeah, half the time. Well, some of these mothers be gone, but half the time they don't want to be seen on camera. Remember, Jazzy Shoulders. You know, her mother was like, "Do not put me on this shit. You're not getting ready to have me out here embarrassing my black ass out here like that."
Yeah, I wouldn't want to be on.
But we don't know what her mother. We don't know her mother's situation, especially because, well, so her stone top home there comes over.
Mm-hmm.
Jennifer.
Mm-hmm.
Now everybody in this area knows each other.
Stone top Siwa, because she too looked like JoJo Siwa, but like, what a strap!
It's the rest is still unwritten.
Yeah, but actually, Jennifer and Loki look more like Fred Durst here than anything else.
She more than
Trav.
What's her faces? Yep. That's from another recap. Sorry, guys, you have to tune into the Patreon for that.
Yeah.
But Jennifer is another friend from school, so she knows Joey as well. And she comes over to watch the kids, and so she's like, "You got him a car?" She said, "My friend has an unhealthy pattern of being with addicts. Like, that is her thing." And she's like, this relationship has a 40% chance of working out.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And, you know, Kim talks about how she how she has a thing for addicts, and she hasn't really felt true love in 7 years. Due to her ex being not present and also being abusive. Right. So her kids are a lot. She has 2 young ones. And they could use a dart of Ritalin. I gotta be honest with you.
No. They're rowdy. But she got like
also like 5 and 3.
I was like, she's got the peak rowdy age group right here, and 2 kids, and she's a single mother.
One of them is calm, and one of them is not.
Which is generally the case. It's always that
one.
Yep, that youngest one be the one that youngest one be the one to test all the waters. But he calls, so she's trying to balance single motherhood and putting them to bed with her prison phone call with her nigga. And I was very disturbed. It never ceases to amaze me how disturbed I get, because this shit doesn't change. How
involved the kids get with
not even how involved the kids get, how involved the mother is willing to allow these men to be with their children without any vetting or time or any of that. So she's like, when you get out, you're on bedtime duty. Girl. That's not how this works. This is not how this should work.
It better be him, you, and a caseworker, goddamn it.
Exactly. Like, we're not absolutely the fuck not. You got things to prove and show yourself. Not during this. No, indeed. I'm not accusing you of anything. I'm protecting mine.
I'm not accusing you of anything. I'm accusing you of everything until
you know what? You're right. Guilty until proven innocent. I'm not putting my kids in that predicament. And so it never ceases to amaze me how they're ready to jump out the window and just give duties over to these complete strangers. Yes, the kid is going to get attached when they talk to this man every day on the phone and call him daddy number 2, a la Pleasure
to
P.
fucking Bluey.
Exactly. Like, get the fuck out of here. Adults get attached to Bluey. Like, everybody's unhinged. What are you doing? So, anyway, next day, Joey's mother, Tammy, who looks every bit of her name, comes over.
Yes.
Well, she is a quintessential through and through Tammy.
Mm-hmm.
She comes
What's
over to
Tammy short for? Like Tamitha?
I know for black people sometimes it'd be Tamara, but what I don't know.
I know white Tamaras, but I don't know if she would be a white Tamara. She a Tammy, but I just want to know, like, a woman of her age.
Wait a minute, hold on. First of all, what did you just say, Tamitha?
Yeah.
Tamitha is so crazy. I'm sorry. Okay. Tammy is a feminine given name. It could be short for a form of the names Tamsin, Thomasina, Thomasin, Tamar, or Tamara, or other names starting with not other names. Tamsin, Thomasina, and Thomasine are feminine versions of the name Thomas, a Greek form of the Aramaic name Teoma, meaning twin.
Okay. So Tamitha.
Yeah, we'll go with that. But Tamitha is Joey's mom, and obviously because this entire town is ancestral, what you call her, White Nicole Byer? White Nicole,
because she looks exactly like Nicole
Byer.
Does. Wow.
Older, but yes. Yeah. White Nicole Byer has known her since she was a child. And Tammy is tired. She has had a go with Joey. So she's ready for him to sit down somewhere. But she's coming over to watch the kids so that, White Nicole Byer can go pick him up from the pokey and they can go to the woods and do it.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Now, I find it also very weird that she know Tamitha from church. Because I'm like, well,
I don't.
How
the fuck big is Eden, North Carolina? What?
Population 9.
Like Eden.
Them.
Y'all need y'all need to make sure you're not cousins. Eden, North Carolina population.
Check that website that they got on in Iceland.
Child, Eden, North Carolina got 15,000 people as of 2022. They grew up with less than that.
Yeah. That's only, and I feel like that's only because niggas move there because it's cheaper to live there.
Because gentrification has struck everywhere.
Millennials are trying to make Wichita a thing.
They are everywhere.
Hey guys, let's move to the Ozark. Yeah. And it's like a whole architectural digest.
Where are you going? I'm going to the mountains of Georgia. I'm like,
yeah. Let's make this the new, like, it'd be like SoWa and it'd be like South Washington and like Tacoma. Like, you know what I mean? Like, no,
they want to make everywhere a thing. Yeah. When I was in that gentrified neighborhood in Cleveland, I was like, a dystopian, nigga, this is crazy.
Whenever they start doing the so and the we and they shorten things.
Right, yeah. And there's at least 3 coffee shops
with ironic titles.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Called Stir.
Yeah. Mix.
Yeah. That's like my salad shop that's next to me. It's called Mixed.
Of course it is. Mixed.
But
chopped.
I laugh at it all the time because I feel like I'm ordering mixed.
Even Sweet Green. Yeah, that's the most LA ass fucking.
Yeah.
Mixed is so.
Let's take a break.
Mm-hmm.
And we'll be back.
We wasn't done.
Oh no, we definitely weren't. My bad. So, she on her way, or she's driving somewhere, And because I don't think she's on her way yet to pick him up, but if so, she is. Whatever. He calls her, and he's like, "Hey, so I got a message from this girl named Ashley saying that your future wife is hugged up on some man and out and creeping on you." And so he
some
asked
light
her,
skinned man. I didn't even know white people said light skin.
Me either. And he asked her, like, are you fucking other niggas, yes or no? And so she makes a confused face, and that's where we end the whole episode, actually, with her.
Yes.
I think this is a throw off situation. Like, I don't think that if she is, it probably would be talking to her ex because her kids need to see their daddy. But
or
otherwise,
because she didn't tell us if he knows. I'm assuming by the way that she spoke about it, he doesn't know she's still legally married.
No.
So I'm wondering if it's
definitely that. But yeah, that was them. Now we can take a break. And we'll be back with more Dating XD and Love After Lockup. Hit it, Claude.
After these messages, we'll be right back.
Hey guys, this is my spoken word poem. I'm not recording my face because I don't want it on YouTube. I don't want my family to see it and get their feelings hurt and whatnot. So here we go. I remember the day that she told me that she smoked crack. The next day, I bought a shirt that said crack is whack and don't believe the pipe. When I was 19, my dad died. When I was 19, my brother was skin and bone.
All right, and we're back. Let's move on to people that we know.
Polygrip.
Yeah,
let's do polygrip and true.
Yeah, polygrip and true. We're back. I'm not gonna rehash all last season. Listen to.
I will say this: Shantae, non-traditional spelling, aka Polygrip, is 35 years old. Just to give you all some background.
Again, 30 what?
She's grandmas make tacos, grandmas make Alfredo. Okay, grandmas make fried rice. She's a restaurant.
Grandma's drink Nouveau.
Exactly, in Alizé. Yeah. She's a restaurant manager. I don't know what restaurant she is at now. Maybe she's still, as of last season, she was at the Whataburger and received a demotion on screen.
I was still mad about that for her.
Because she brought these cameras up into their stuff.
And now I'm not that mad at her when I realized that.
She probably didn't tell them like what the show was. It was like, I'm gonna be on a TV show. And they're like, yeah, exposure. Then they realize, bitch, you're dating a prisoner. Absolutely the fuck not. And you gonna put our good outlaw. Orange and white stripes in here. So they demoted this, but she was a manager. They demoted her during the show. True, is 31. He has been in jail for 13 years for robbery, which we will talk about in a little bit. But they are based in Independence, Missouri, even though he is originally from Chicago.
Which makes every bit of sense. So last season we had our ups and downs. They've been each other's partners through trauma. Let's put it that way. Like, he didn't have nobody to go through because he's obviously in prison, and she had a situation where she was assaulted and put in a very vulnerable position, and so he happened to be there for her at the time, and so they have a connection there.
He also likes white women. This was explicitly stated in the last season of Love During Lockup.
Through every episode that he was featured on.
And white women leave you when the good is gone. And so
to quote Chris Brown, those hoes ain't loyal.
Oh my God. Terrible human.
Damn, I wish somebody else sang that.
I know, but he did, and that's what it was. So continue.
So that brings us here. He's about to get out, and so she's unsure if she wants to have sex on the first night or, because that's definitely what he wants to do.
And they've never met in person.
And they've never met in person because she is super. She won't tell us why they've never met, but we can assume that she was feeling insecure because the fact that he is. Yes, and I don't even think it's because of how she looks. It's because she's not white. So like when you tell people like you cute for a black girl, I've never talked to a black chick before, and I'm sure he has said that or intimated that several times before it became normalized to her.
Yes, I'm sure.
But whatever.
And he probably still says stuff like that because, oh my God, I was so mad at myself for not doing a female count from the start of this episode.
I should have.
I said we may have hit a record on this episode.
Yeah. From everybody.
Everybody, bitch.
Shantae, True, the little nephew.
Right, the baby with
the
no
balloon.
Teeth. The female count. I might have to go back and just to get an accurate female count.
Yeah, I
don't think woman was used. Femme. I don't think we used one goddamn time.
Never.
Hell, I think the Stone Top said female.
She did.
This female got a problem with dating addicts.
Yeah.
I was oh, my ears are bleeding, nigga.
Yeah, no one is honoring women.
No, and they're definitely not going. If they don't honor women, they're not honoring women's and femmes and anybody else. No, absolutely not. No.
So, anywho, he's talked to about over 60 women since he's been locked up, but he's loyal and he tells us that he learned a lot about loyalty and what love is supposed to be while locked up, and that's why he really appreciates Shantae.
Yeah.
If she was cheating or talking to somebody behind my back, that's definitely a deal breaker for me. How your day going? So, I had got some mail returned from you today.
What?
Like, all my pictures came back and stuff.
Huh. So, anywho.
Exactly.
He's getting out. She pulls up. Shantae, the traditional spelling.
Before she pulls up. When she was talking,
you want to talk about her drooling on herself,
nigga? What was I was like, is your mouth numb? Like, did it not seal yet? What happened?
Because it was like
it was like slowly wall sliding down her chin.
Yes, and I'm like, did she figure it out? And I'm like, no, she did drool on herself because you see the drool stain on her titty.
I don't know if it was drool though, or if it was that Beauty Supply lip gloss.
Either way, whatever the fuck was melting from her face and dripping onto her titty.
Her red shirt.
On her red shirt. On her breast. You see a stain.
Her breast titty.
On her breast bar. You know what I mean? So like, yes, we get to the thing. His sister and her.
I'm sorry.
And
why the fuck did they put that in there? Why did they edit this bitch drooling or her Beauty Supply lip gloss crawling slowly down her face? Why would they are so nasty in production?
And I see it. And I'm closing my eyes and I see it. Like it was so glaring.
And I was like, oh, they're just gonna keep staying here.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. Yeah. Keep going.
No, it's true. So yeah, his sister pops out with her kids, and remember, like, it's not like she got beef with Shantae. She's just kind of like, better you than me.
Yeah, the sister is me. What?
Yeah.
The sister kept
it. I love it, girl.
All the way funky at the dinner. She was like, homeboy, you getting sloppy because you telling people different stories. And she told old girl, like, girl, is this what you really want to do? Like, she doesn't have a beef with anybody. She has a beef with stupidity.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. So, anywho, he gets out and he finally addresses something for the last, not 8 years we've been watching this show that no one ever addresses.
Oh, yeah. And it took a black person
Yeah. So he like gets out and they have like confession with him and her, and he's like, "Do I smell like jail?" And she like, "Yeah, you smell like jail." And I was like, "Thank you, thank you for somebody acknowledging
saying it.
that jail has a smell and that you'll need to wash it off you."
Yes, it's something stale. It's stale.
It
Y'all
smells
have
gubernatorial.
I don't know
it
what
sounds,
y'all have.
It sounds governmental.
It
sounds
does.
federal.
It's
it smells federal.
It's stale and bleachy and pissy and it's multiple things all at once. You know the smell.
Yeah.
It's very specific. It's like crack.
Mm-hmm.
Which your friend, I enjoy him, who I follow. The one who you brought on your Substack.
Which one?
He posted a video recently where somebody suggested to him to try some crack.
Tariq. Yes.
Tariq. I enjoyed Tariq.
Yes.
I enjoyed Tariq and his street monologues.
Oh, yes. Walking down. Because he lives not too far from where I used to live.
Yeah. There's still 4 blocks there where crack is still happening, baby. There's 4 blocks. You know which 4 blocks.
Mm-hmm.
Why would somebody tell you to do you like niggas still use crack in 2024?
Oh my God. Chris and I were just having this conversation a couple days ago. And I was telling him, I was like, when I was working in the Bronx, I was always floored when I would work with somebody new and they're like 20 years old and they'd be like, my drug of choice is crack. And I'd be like, do you know what year it is?
How?
Like crack is an old, like it's old, like polio, like you know what I mean? Like
the only
things,
thing
like...
a little bit older might be like
opium.
Base. Opium. I think base came somewhere in between crack and opium.
Yeah, like you know what I mean? Like
heroin been around.
Yes.
Heroin has been around. Yeah, whether it was in liquid form, whether poppy. Okay. Yes, Dorothy
was grinding poppy seeds.
Heroin been around, but crack, crack. Cause I seen a lady walking down the street the other day, and my homegirl was like, "Ooh, is it meth?" And I said, "No, baby, that's a different rock. Like I know that walk, I know that rock, I know that lean with it.
Lean with it, walk with it, 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 lean with it.
Like meth makes more sense to me in this day and age.
In this day and age, I guess, yeah.
People are stealing like medical grade or faking medical grade things or whatever.
Yeah.
But like crack,
nigga,
crack. So I don't even know. Like I feel like the people who
like baking soda is the only thing that has not gone up with the inflation.
It hasn't,
and I don't think crack has either. I think crack is financially stable. I still feel like 2 rocks for 10.
2 cracks, please.
2 cracks, please. That would be $200.
Yeah.
I do. I think crack has beat inflation, and baking soda has beat inflation. So maybe if we're trying to figure out
and white vinegar,
the why
so
and white vinegar, you know what I mean? Yeah. So like, maybe that is the.
That's so
reason. Funny. We're trying to figure why niggas still smoke crack.
Get addicted to crack. That's so wild.
We should go be a street team with the little microphones.
No, not here. Not for that. Excuse me, sir. Excuse me, ma'am. Can I ask?
We're doing a poll. Excuse me. Why are niggas still smoking crack?
Yeah. Do you have insight?
I would just call my uncle.
Yeah.
I'd be like, nigga, are you on or you off? I have a question and I don't want to trigger you. Ooh, terrible dark family humor. Continue.
So fast forward, he's into her. He's like, oh, why were you worried about coming to visit? Like, you should have came to see me. And she was like, but he's whatever.
Yeah.
He's out because he gets like confessional and everything, like in like street clothes.
Oh, he gives us his trauma. He gives us everything.
Yeah, he has a trauma mirror moment.
He's a self-aware individual.
Yeah, he lets us know, his Chief Keef origin story. He was like, I used to rob people for fun because I loved the rush.
Yeah.
I thought it was, it was a wang dang doodle for me. And then,
speaking of Chief Keef, so sorry. You all know what this show is. So my homegirl, who is less in tune than even I, she calls me and she goes, I have a really serious question for you. I need you to do a breakdown for me. And I was like, okay. She's like, please explain to me what an ice spice is. She's like, because I saw it and I don't get it. I said, well, where did you see it? She said, well, the BET Awards, which is not her usual jam, but her and her mother were, something else happened. I don't know if somebody else performed, but regardless, she was like, well, let me go see who else. And that's where she stumbled upon an Ice Spice. And so she said, what is it? And I said, well, it is an industry plant, I believe. But also, so I'm trying to break down what this Ice Spice is. And I was like, first of all, the young girls are like, it's a cult. I just want you to know that. But so there's that. But I was like, so the style of music that she is supposedly doing is called drill. And she was like, drill what? And I said, it is called drill. I said, so Chief Keef, and then here come Tristan in the background. The godfather of drill is what they call him.
That's so funny.
It was a time. It was a time.
The Godfather drill.
That's what they call him.
Yeah.
But continue.
But yeah, he got put in because he talks about him like he had troubled youth. He got out. One day out of juvie, he decided to go rob a bank. The next day, the getaway car punked out, and they all got caught up, and he got charged with attempted robbery because he tried to rob a bank.
Yeah, 15 years is what he got originally.
And he's excited to be out. He's been in there for 13 years.
I would think robbing a bank would be federal, a Fed crime, right?
Yes.
And generally, Fed time is non-negotiable, like you have to do it, and state time is what can be. So I'm just curious. I'm wondering.
Yeah, I'm wondering maybe good behavior. Maybe.
Oh yeah.
I mean, because remember he was like head chef boyardee nigga or whatever the
that
fuck.
Nigga was in jail making squid. What was it? He was
like squid ink. I don't know, omelet. Like
he was like, this is gnocchi, and I said, now where the fuck is this?
Yeah,
where is this?
This is not prison. This is like a halfway house.
Yeah.
At this point, like you're not. Yeah. So. That was them. Let's take a break and be back with more Jaden XD. Hit it, Claude.
After these messages, we'll be right back.
This is crack, rock cocaine. It isn't glamorous or cool or kid stuff. It's the most addictive kind of cocaine, and it can kill you. What's really bad is nobody knows how much it takes. So every time you use it, you risk dying. It isn't worth it.
And we're back. Let's move on to period and I don't know what to call him.
Evil Frank Ocean.
Arthur. Yeah. Arthur.
Yeah.
Evil Frank Ocean. Or tinfoil, because based on the tattoos on his forehead, I'm sure he believes that he can catch 5G and all
Sir,
that.
if Frank Ocean took drag too far, he would have them same tattoos on his forehead.
That's true.
But Big Lotto is 27 years old. And Dark Frank Ocean.
Big Lotto, yes, I'm gonna call her that. That is quite appropriate.
I called her Grande Lotto, but because I wasn't sure,
That's true. I don't know what I'm going to, because I can't decide if she mixed or a hot Cheeto girl.
I don't know. I think it's a blend.
Yeah, a little from column A.
So we'll call her Grande Lotto, 27 years old, and Dark Frank Ocean, who's 29 years old. He was been in prison for 4 years for theft and evading arrest. And Grande Lotto is a truck driver. Almost got her CDL on lock.
Rosie the Riveter. Mama is a part of a union, Teamster Battalion 47.
And she be driving that fucking chocolatas.
Yes.
Which is why I was
it's a Chevy Cruze.
Oh, exactly.
It's so fascinating to me. Because when she whipped that 18-wheeler into that parking space to pick this nigga up, I was like, what are you doing?
The bitch turned the music down in reverse. And I was like, wait, now, hold on now.
Yeah.
You whipping that shit, girl.
You better drive.
You better drive, mama. So they met 6 years ago.
Yeah, so she gets money, she makes a lot of money. They met 6 years ago, as you said, when he got locked up the first time for stealing a car. They met through mutual friends, and she's just hopeful and for love, and hopefully this works out. He got a lot of Hotep face tats, like Illuminati or whatever the fuck here, and all that good stuff.
Yeah.
But they've only spent like 2 months together in the free world, and even that was supervised because he was in a halfway house. So they had 1 hour a day that they could see each other.
That's a long-term relationship to me, based off of half these people on this show who haven't even looked at each other before they say, yes, you can come in and adopt my children. Period. Period. Period.
That pissed me off. And I audibly talk to the screen usually, but when she's like, he adopted my son, I said, hell no.
I said, hold on.
I was like, whatever state you live in, the state of New York, allowed that. But
Too loose.
Back to Hope and Arthur, Big Lotto and
Dark
Frank Ocean. She has to go pick him up, and she's late and she's nervous. She's throwing up. She got the Bee Gees, all that good stuff. And meanwhile, Bounty Hunter has a sister named Vanetta. Vanetta was a Jet Beauty of the Week at some point in time.
Oh yeah. First of all, Vanetta is our age. Vanetta was absolutely in a couple of
She could have been a 21-year-old Beauty of the Week.
Vanetta was in several uncut videos.
I was gonna say she was on the cover of like Don Diva.
Or King.
Yeah.
Vanetta showed up with that wig that sat back here.
Oh, she put that
her
shit
Monroe
on like
braces and her beard, her Monroe piercing and her braces.
Oh yes. She is from a particular era in time.
Yeah, we know that era quite fucking well.
Yeah.
We were all leaning and motherfucking rocking with it, nigga.
Yeah. She and I did the pool palace together.
That bitch had apple bottom jeans and the boots with the fur.
Yeah. Bitch, your knees, fuck your hips, do the pool palace.
Oh, well, shit.
Vanetta, his mama showed up. Big pissed. She got there at 8:00 in the morning because she was there to pick up her son.
Not only that, this is in Dallas, Texas. Vanetta lives in Vegas. Vanetta flew in the day before, rented a car, and drove 3.5 hours and still made it on time.
Yeah.
And this bitch is 2 hours late.
Yeah.
Very Tina Campbell with it.
I mean, if she had the shits, what was she gonna do?
She had the shits, but she also was.
She was late.
She was just late. She didn't prepare well, including.
She also
outfit.
gives me. She gives me that she's late a lot.
Yeah, exactly. Which I don't understand as a truck driver.
Yeah. So, like, Vanetta has, big Pringles on her shoulders. Like, she is like, this bitch, I have driven all here and just late.
Yes.
So here comes Big Lotto whipping this 18 and it's no joke. It's not like at the bet. There's no like thing on it, so it's just the caddy and then 18 wheels behind her.
This bitch pulls up in a semi or whatever the fuck it's called. She pulled up with the 18 wheeler without the back, without the ass on it, in a Shein dress
with raindrops on it.
That was 3 sizes too small, and some chancletas. It was it was the visual.
Walmart errand.
No, that dress should have never been like. This don't have nothing to do with size. This don't have nothing to do with respectability politics. This has everything to do with the fact that when your clothes don't fit like that, you look fucking stupid.
I also thought they were gonna burst into flames because I know nothing on that garment was natural.
Burst into flames or burst at the seams. I don't know which one. It was terrible. It was terrible. Bitch, you took the size up at least one.
Yeah. I will say nobody ever has quality like prison fits. Like, you know what I mean? Like when they show up to pick them up, they always look a little hit, and I don't know why.
Well, we seen Shantae was drooling on herself. She tried with her white jeans and her red boots. But,
she dribbled on her titty.
She dribbled on her titty boob. So, she whips into the parking lot in this dress, these chanclas, and this fucking
pink hair.
And this pink Pennywise hair. That is a goddamn mess in this truck. And then Vanetta said, "Not this bitch coming to pick him up in this truck."
Yeah. And it's so funny because when she talks, her wig moves like Tony Talks does on Instagram. It'd be like this.
Because it's not secure.
No. She just threw it on like a fitted, like a certain group in Harlem does.
It is very Showtime.
I say no name.
No, that wig is fitting like a Showtime cap. She about to flip it off her foot and back onto her head.
Clear it out.
No music.
No music ass wig. Anywho, her and Vanetta go back and forth about like her being there in time and if she's worthy about being with her son. But in the midst of all that, we get some tea. So like, when he was on the outside, they was monogamous and everything was cool. But when he got locked up again, she was like, "Oh, I have needs.
Mama got a life too."
Yeah, so they agreed to have like some sort of where she fucks on people, whatever she chooses to. And then they agreed to stop. Well, he agreed to be like, "Girl, let's close this thing back on up." And she was like, "Oh, okay." And she was still humping on people.
Yeah. I mean,
Vanetta's, sure.
Yeah.
Vanetta's trying to take her baby back to Vegas with her, and I just don't see that happening.
With his family. The whole scene flashed before my eyes. He got siblings and a mother and all kinds of shit in Vegas, and you know what?
Because they're from San Bernardino, and you remember Maya Wilkes' family from San Bernardino?
Wait, Vanetta and Evil Frank Ocean's from San Bernardino?
Yeah, because on his thing, he said he was from San Bernardino.
Oh, so how the fuck he end up in Dallas? What is
They
happening?
probably, well, you know, with federal prisons, you get moved around.
Oh, that's true. Yes. That's
And
true.
they probably ended up moving to Vegas because it was cheaper.
That
you know?
well, that's what I thought for Vanessa. Yeah. That. Oh, okay.
Niggas treat Vegas like other people treat Atlanta.
Yeah,
or North Carolina or the Poconos. Actually,
yeah.
If you know, you know.
Yeah, we moving to Jersey. No, nigga, not us. Yo,
I'm sorry.
You'll never hear me say that. You'll never hear me say that.
I almost moved to New
Let
Jersey.
me knock on some wood before I curse myself, but no, ew.
I almost moved to Elizabeth, actually. Which I know.
Oh.
I know.
Fuck you, Officer Peppers. I haven't forgotten. Yeah.
But that was them, honestly.
Yeah, they go back and forth. You know, Grande Lato is very mouthy. You know, and you know, of course, takes her relationship time with him and factors that into his whole life. And she's like, "You ain't never done nothing for him." She's like, "Bitch, please." Please leave me alone.
Relax.
She's very spicy with his mother, and we will see how this dynamic works out because Vanetta being there is a surprise.
Of course. Of course. But let's take a break, and we'll be back with more Jada NXT. Hit it, Claude.
After these messages, we'll be right back.
Captivated in which your beauty sustains me. So mesmerized but still so confused. How I can't let out all of the pain and turmoil, never knowing what or how to sort out this mess with you. I continually get to feel a limitless of agony and burning, waiting for the pain and heat to subside, as if on fire.
And we're back.
Yes.
Love After Lockup season premiere. I don't know which season this is. Let's just say
I don't
8
care
because it's been 8 years that we've been watching this show, if not 9.
How embarrassing!
I know. Let's go back to Toilet Tisha.
Oh, Toilet
We have
Tisha.
not seen them in about a year or two.
No,
maybe about a year.
I can imagine it's probably because she was trying to clear up some.
Well, that's because she was in jail.
You're right. I was like,
you know, we're back to Like a Boss LLC.
Oh yeah, this bitch is an accountant. You know how I say settlers when I'm giving the news? She does taxes, and you all can just conclude what you will from there.
Right. Now, we saw them a couple years ago at Love Before Lockup or Love During Lockup. She tried to employ her currently incarcerated husband.
Yeah.
And have him run the business from a collect call.
Yeah, she had him literally on the phone on speaker with her employees sitting around the phone and introduced him as their new boss.
Yeah, like she's onboarding him to the West Coast team. Like, you know what I mean? It was real like corporate, but
not even onboarding. It's like, this is your new director, so you need to respect him. But then, you know, a voice comes in and says, "You've got 60 seconds remaining." Like, it's very
I would
unserious.
never take anybody seriously if I'm on the hook with MCI. You know what I mean?
Absolutely the fuck not.
Is MCI still a thing anymore?
I don't think so. I don't.
Okay. When I said it, I was like, did I age myself with that joke?
Yeah. Did I age myself laughing at it?
Yeah. A little bit.
Yeah. We open up with her very hilarious and precocious younger child calling her mother white and fake.
Yeah. Yeah.
I said, is this Noah or who is this
Basically, Tall Letitia's getting ready for work, and her daughter was like, "You look like a Barbie doll," and she was like, "No, I don't." She was like, "Well, y'all got the same skin."
She called her white and fake.
She did.
Also, stop letting your children have these blonde, white Barbies.
Yeah.
Like, cut it out.
I also just don't believe in Barbie in general, but that's something
fair.
I have.
That's fair.
I liked the movie Barbie, but I've also recognized like, oh, that's white feminism, and I can
absolutely is
separate myself from that. But I know it's not womanism or anything that's relevant that's going to help us as a future as a society or advance us as a people. I was like, oh, this is entertaining, and Barbies are cute.
And they're always going to be around, and they're always going to have shit that the kid appeals to the kids, and so it is what it is. So, but also,
that reminds me. I think I saved it, but there's this video about how these white men discovered Addie.
Oh,
and they were talking about how she was the best character out of all of them because she was like, so you mean to tell me this bitch survived slavery, but you want me to buy into this little white girl who just barely knew how to read? They're like, Addie kicked ass.
Hello?
Like, she survived slavery. What do you want me? Why are we? They were like, why are we as white people not reading about Addie?
It is crazy that Addie escaped slavery, and they have it being like she wins the spelling bee. What the fuck is that?
It's also interesting just to be like, you can have the doll that escaped slavery or the doll that likes to roller skate.
I mean, I guess I like Addie now because I know that she's...
They was talking about Samantha, the Victorian girl,
Yeah.
and the fucking girl during the World War II.
Yeah,
no,
they were
Addie
like,
is
"This
the
bitch
real
is whack."
queen of this shit. She's the real queen of this shit.
Yeah. Everybody had like pure like, oh my gosh, somebody wouldn't take me to
Everybody
the sock
knows
hop.
this is an Addie Stan podcast
Yeah.
right here. We've been
Addie
on it.
Walker.
Okay, that bitch.
I'm waiting for somebody to come out with an Addie Walker freestyle.
Hold,
Megan
please.
better hop
Hold,
on it.
no, hold, please. Did you ring? I'll be back. Oh God.
So Keith is about to get out any day now because state of Illinois passed a new law regarding mandatory minimums. And so he's reached his mandatory minimum, so he could be getting out any day.
Look at y'all doing something good because the state of Illinois clearly need to do more vetting with your fucking police departments.
And
in general, everywhere.
Mayoral candidates.
Also, all of it. Everything.
Yeah.
Everything.
And we're reminded about how she tried to employ her felon ass husband, or when she tried to steal his money for the $10,000 ring, and his auntie was like,
Auntie Thumbsucker. And we were reminded that they were married by proxy because I completely forgot about that.
Yeah, they definitely got married by 1040 forms.
Yeah,
like, it was very much like through H&R Block.
Oh yeah. Do you know a notary?
Yeah, exactly. So they have yet to have sex. I forgot about that. They whole ass married and they haven't had sex. She talks about it bringing her back to her church roots.
Yep.
And then I was like, there's nothing holiness. There's no holiness here. Nothing is blessed except your children.
Absolutely. Yeah.
And it made the Lord watch over them because one of them is wise and knows there's some shit afoot.
Let me tell you something. Protect her at all costs. Cover her, God. Like that baby needs, she needs some peace. Her spirit is vexed.
And been that way ever since we first met them on this show. So,
and she's also telling us about this lack of sex, should I say, and also how they're getting ready to get busy in the parking lot. In the same way that she had that conference call around the speakerphone when he was in the prison, she's doing the same things to the employee, gathers them all to tell them that her husband is getting out earlier and that they're going to fuck in the car. And everybody who is a part of this tax service and eyelash business is disgusted But because she's who signs their checks, they just have to sit there and listen. They all think she's stupid.
I met Key through a mutual friend. She had a person that was incarcerated that she was seeing. She sent pictures of us to the prison. Next thing I know, this man stole my heart and like married me. Okay.
Here she is.
Yeah.
You know, she gets home and she tells everybody, you know, the news that, you know, Keith is about to come home. And Naraya, her eldest, is like, he calls and he's like, yeah, about to get out. And she's like, yes, we're all excited. The baby's excited. The younger one is like, daddy, 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 daddy. Can't wait to see my daddy. She bawling after he hang up on the phone and like,
God.
is my daddy coming home tomorrow? My daddy, my daddy, my daddy, my daddy. Meanwhile, Naraya is like,
I don't like how she put her on the spot either. Talking about, don't you want to tell him congratulations? No, bitch, she doesn't. Because if she wanted to, she would have said it.
She would have said it.
Why are you doing that? And then this little one here, bless her, cover her. Because the reason she is so attached to this man is because she's never had an active father in her life. So now she's super hype about this lackadaisical ass tone nigga coming to the house and being her daddy. And if this relationship does not work out between them, what do you think this is getting ready to do to this girl? You telling her you deserve to be a daddy's girl. No, she deserves to be a fully formed person no matter who is in her life. Encourage her in that way.
Yeah.
But you are implanting this idea. So now she thinks that all of this worth and all of these things are contingent upon a nigga being around. Look what you're doing. You fucking girl boss.
Yeah, I hate it.
I hate it all.
Like,
I hate
it.
I'm not saying people don't deserve to have, you know, but teach kids that families look different so that they don't feel like something is lacking in their lives. And then they put all of their hope and all of their joy and their spark into this person who you don't even know the ways in which this person is going to show up or not show up for them.
You don't know them either, ma'am.
Fucking idiots.
I hate it. Like, I truly hate it. Every time Shovel did that with Quaylen, and now she up here on every chance somebody will give her a megahorn to call this nigga gay.
Yep.
You know what I mean? Like, everybody who's had...
He's the one doing the bending. And this girl, get off the podcast.
Even Baby Nux, you know, like, we like Baby Nux, but we also looked at Mormon Weave Lady sideways and was like, lady, what are you doing? You have these two children here who are sheltered, but also going to go through some cultural, like, fuck shit because you're moving them from Utah to
You moved them
South
from
Central.
Soda Shop USA to Crenshaw and Slauson.
Yeah.
Girl, go to hell.
Yeah.
Like,
I would have never talked to you again. As
Literally.
soon as I would have went on a mission to Africa, and that would have been it.
well, you should have never had them in Soda Shop USA. You can't snatch these kids out of there and put them in Compton.
No.
Bitch. It's like taking a kid out of the middle of Ohio and putting them in East New York. Like, what is wrong with you?
That would never, like,
Here
not
you go.
survive.
Have fun in the 90s. Like,
yeah, girl.
And that's how we have crack in 2024 because people keep doing stuff like this. Then they go into new.
Exactly it.
This. You know what? We answered our
It's a
own
cycle.
question. It is. This is science.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah. Let's take one last break. and
Yeah,
with
we
our
got one
last
more couple.
Fucking crack. Motherfucking crack. Hit it, Claude.
After these messages, we'll be right back.
It's an experience no one wants to have, getting arrested and then taken to jail.
The fear, the humiliation, and the idea of losing your freedom. The Pima County Sheriff's Department arranged for our own Ricky Mitchell to be arrested and booked into jail to show you firsthand what an inmate goes through.
With photographer Chris Miracle, they have an exclusive look inside the Pima County jailhouse walls to show you
And we're back.
Mm.
We've gone through a lot of people through this show. We've met a lot of couples. I feel like contestants of Survivor. We've been through a lot of them.
Yeah.
But and more often than not, we often talk about like we need to be surprised because we've thought we've seen it all.
Uh-huh.
Nah.
No, we haven't.
We're always one upped.
Yeah.
And I've never seen a Black Amy Winehouse before.
Me neither.
Until the day I watched this.
So the last couple on the list is Zariah, aka Black Amy Winehouse. She's 32 years old and an executive director. And Troy, aka YG, who is 29, and he's been locked up. I don't actually missed the time frame because they were the first couple and I just missed it. But criminal possession of a weapon and attempted robbery. And they're based out of Syracuse, New York.
Yeah. This story starts in a church.
Victory Temple Fellowship Church.
Yes. It's a storefront church, and you can do with that whatever you will. But just know that I know churchy people have certain opinions about storefront churches because I'm not churchy and I have an opinion about storefront churches.
What, they fronts?
Operative word. So,
but she's at the church with her 11-year-old son, her father, Spike Lee.
Her homosexual father. And her
I was going to call him gay Spike Lee, but
yeah, gay Spike Lee.
I was like,
Gay
no,
Lee.
hold on.
Bishop Gay Lee.
And her mother, First Lady Queen Afua.
Oh, Lady Godiva.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Or Eloise. All of it works.
Yeah. She too is a drag queen.
Yeah, absolutely.
So here's the tea on Zariah. She grew up in the church from Henry and Jean Jay. They're both bishop and pastor. They are festive, owners of this church.
Mm-hmm.
She has a son named Azael.
I didn't know if it was biblical, but or ethnic. I'm not sure.
Who's 11.
Yeah.
Even though she churchy, or she grew up churchy, I should say that. When she turned 15, she got her first taste of a hood nigga, and ever since,
where the hood niggas at? That's the first thing.
And I was like, yeah.
Troy and I have been dating for almost 5 years. We come from different backgrounds. I was raised in the church. He was raised in the streets. We've been married for 3 years.
We have some concerns.
I was like, girl, I've been there, girl. Yeah. It's a phase, though. Her daddy is very flamboyant.
Yeah.
Let's go with that.
Yeah.
And so is her mother.
Mm-hmm.
And I will say that her mother is very, very religious, more so than Henry might be her daddy.
There is a wooden sign at the foyer of their house that says "Holiness is right."
Yes, it is. They have the Serenity Prayer in every one of their bathrooms,
framed.
Mm-hmm. So, like, she's been dating Troy for 5 years, but they've been married for 3. This is her second marriage. She was married to her child's father, who was incarcerated. And how they met was that Troy and her ex nigga were neighbors on the block.
Yep.
In the cell in prison. She saw him and he walked past and she was owling.
Ooh,
who is that? Ooh, he fine. And she manifested her new man. He's in because of possession of a weapon and burglary,
Mm-hmm.
And so they're at church and she's talking to her mama while sitting in the pew, and he calls and he's like trying to be nasty up front, like, oh, you can't wait till your man come home so I can blow your back out or whatever. She's like, I'll be at church.
I'm at the Victory Temple Fellowship Church now, Troy.
Right. And her mama's like, are you ready to preach, calling a preacher? He's like, I don't know if that's gonna be my thing. And she's very adamant about him being into the word,
Yeah.
because that is how going to provide a stable foundation for them as a couple.
And
part of me agrees, and part of me feels that I don't feel like it needs to be this particular religion, but I do think they do need to be grounded and rooted in something for real.
well, that's where I was like, I feel like her opinion comes from, like we have talked about many times and probably will continue to talk about many times, the Black church being the foundation of community for so long. And so, and togetherness. And so, if we are not going, which, many people have opted out of the church in these days, understandably so. But if that's the case, we have to still have those spaces that do provide community, and community provides all those things. It provides grounding, it provides unity, it provides care, it provides love, it provides all the many things that can help a person to move forward in life. You know what I'm saying? It brings people together. And so I think her mother probably has fully that's really like a big thing for her, but she just feels like the church is the only place that can happen.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
And he a little worldly, and to be honest, Zariah trying to be worldly with him.
Zariah, just because people be raised in the church don't mean they not worldly. The bitch is worldly. She been worldly. She started fucking at 15. Yeah. By church standards, it sounds worldly to me.
Yeah. Oh, right. I did forget I called her LMA. Because in my notes it says LMA.
Oh, she does.
Yeah, because I was like, it's
LMA White House.
And I'm like, oh, okay.
LMA White House.
LMA White House. So anywho, he starts talking to us, and Troy does, and he's like, women attract to him like magnets, which he looks like a hot boy, so I can see why people would be into him. I'm not, but I can see why. I don't get it, but I can see why.
I don't get YG either, but
So
somebody does.
Now YG,
he's not really my potato. I don't think he's. I don't think he's not handsome. He's just not my type.
That's fair.
And he gives me a lot of YG, so that's why it's like. And there's a babyish quality to Troy's face too. That
yes. Let's say YG is fine, but him, I get it. I can see why you would. Yeah. So then she lets us know that Troy adopted her son. So like when she gave birth to her son as yet, she left the father portion of the birth certificate blank because this nigga wasn't acting like a father.
Mm-hmm.
So then 11 years later, she just filled this blank with this man.
Now, I don't know if that's how that works. I know it works. I don't.
I was so like, you could adopt people while in prison.
Well, that what did you think I said to you earlier? Who approved this, first of all?
Yeah.
Because remember, Quaylon and Shoulders, it was going to be a whole thing.
But he was also out of prison.
Oh, he was. You're right. He was out. You're right. He was out.
Like, there's one thing to be on papers and out.
You're
but
right. Again, I ask, who the fuck approved this? Who approved this?
This must have been Cuomo was in office. I'm assuming, or something. That's weird.
Yeah.
Hell, even this new Katie Alshul, whatever her name is, she a little weird too. But anywho, Boot Up White House is very, very dizzy.
Oh my God.
Very, very dizzy. So like we cut to this scene where she at home and her sister's staying with her.
Mm-hmm.
You know, wonderful. I also find it weird that Zariah looks nothing like any member of her
So
family.
Tristan was like, "Is she adopted?" And I was like, "Why you asking? Because her complexion and black people." And then I was like, "Oh wait, she don't look like neither one of them niggas."
She don't look like anybody in the
and
family.
nobody in her family. She might be,
or she does not have the temperament like anybody in her family either.
Honestly, friend, you know how we find information out as things go? I wouldn't be surprised if at some point she tells us she's adopted, which would explain some of this dizziness. Not saying that adopted people are fucked up, but you know, adopted people who, when their families don't address the adoption in healthy manners.
Yeah,
Then
you have hair that looks like that.
Exactly.
Her hair really stresses me out because it's greasy
and because she is dedicated to it.
Yeah,
it does
to
not
this
look good.
weird up ponytail, white like it does not look good.
No, Mama
at
is
all.
consistently going down to the sock hop, and it's not flattering. It's not.
Asking niggas to go to Sadie Hawkins at 30, like, you know what I mean? Like, it's just literally what it gives. It's weird. But anywho, she talked to her sister, and her sister is like, "Yeah, I'm kicking it here for a minute or whatever." Meanwhile, Troy thinks and expects that her sister will be out by the time he gets there because he's like, I got to get used to her. I got to get used to my new son. And having somebody else there is just going to add additional chaos.
And then you talk about us, having something new each time to keep pulling us back in. Now, we have spoken at great lengths about how reckless it is when you bring these niggas in with your children and you don't know them like that. The sister is like, now I gotta cover myself up and like walk around decently.
I was so wild. I was so thrown.
And this bitch said, "You don't have to do none of that. What you do don't have nothing to do with us."
What?
Why would you put your sister?
Why would you lie to your sister like that?
Also that.
Or yourself like that too?
Because we all know you a dizzy bitch who would fight your sister. But also, why would you put your sister in a predicament like that, even verbally?
This goes back to what you were saying on Inmate to Roommate, when people put people in fucked up situations.
Like, you just, girl, like, don't change
Like,
nothing just because this nigga's coming in the house. You are setting me up. That is just nasty work to me. Nasty work.
It is. It is. It is. And, she pulls out all the things that she's about to gift him for like nigga Hanukkah or whatever the fuck. She got him a chain, other nigga accoutrement, and a money bouquet crown situation.
It is literally rolled up dollars.
Ones. Yeah.
In a rose style bouquet in black, tissue paper with a Burger King crown on top of the rolled up money roses. And the sister's like, "How much money is that?" She's like, "Girl, I don't know. I don't count all that." I was like, "It's $60.
Yeah. She is what the kids call Delulu.
Yeah. If you want to take it back to old school music, Temptations had a song called Ball of Confusion.
Segregation, determination, demonstration, integration, aggravation, humiliation, obligation to my nation. That's what the world is today.
Or what I say, dumb as fuck.
Girl! Bitch.
So she lets us know that she heads up We Got Y'all.
Yeah.
A nonprofit that she calls Project Heal, a support org for the formerly incarcerated. Asterisk.
Let's see. Heal. Helping everybody all lengths.
Yeah.
Niggas always love an acronym.
Right. Now, in general, this is a great idea, right? Like, I
Yeah.
do think there needs to be support orgs for people who are formerly incarcerated.
Absolutely.
I also don't think that yo nigga who is currently incarcerated should be director of community engagement, because how is he going to engage the community? This is about former, not current. Because if it was about current inmates, then he'd be a shoo-in to be a director of community engagement, because he is a part of the comunidad. You know what I mean? like he is in the trenches, in the throes of El Comunidad. But because you not, this is about formerly, meaning people who are out.
He about to be the 3 days. And 2
No,
weeks.
about almost doesn't count. Brandy told us.
Everybody knows.
Yes, everybody knows. Okay. So then she tells us that she has, when it comes to money, she believes she attracts money, so she spends it freely. So her sister asks her, how much have you spent on him in total? She responds with $50,000.
Without hesitation.
Without hesitation.
Mm-hmm.
And her sister
thinks she's an entire idiot. Tibbs!
Yes, thinks she's a whole idiot. Because she was like, I wouldn't even do that, and my nigga is free.
Mm-hmm.
But
she said, I don't do that, and my man's here.
Yeah, like, nah. And then to prove, because her sister Tim's is like, how you know this gonna last? How you know, like, are you sure, girl? Then boot up Winehouse decides to get up, lift her shirt, and show this Gladiator 300 tattoo
300 point
that says Troy. It
in
is
red.
literally the 300 font.
And it's red. It is
Big
red. And you know what it looks like? You all remember that gangrene tattoo that Donna did on that lady's head on Black Ink Crew? Same ilk, nigga. I was
thinking about that shit the other day, and how about that bitch's foot turned black.
I was like, oh, she gotta go to dialysis. Like, that is not a tattoo. Something is wrong. I thought about that, and I thought about that girl getting that big nasty worm on her back on Bridesmaids. And it was a combination of both of those experiences. Down her whole fucking side. It was nasty work, literally.
Yeah, it literally takes up like most of the side of her body.
No, the whole nigga, from the bra strap down to the love handle.
Yeah, like it is true.
Stretches around to the stomach and the back.
Troy.
Like, is that a T? No, bitch, that's a 2x4.
Yeah.
That's a 2x4. Oh, God, this dizzy ass bitch. So then she goes to see Psychic Aaron. Now.
Oh, yeah.
Patrice.
Patrice.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
But have you seen that lady on the internet, Corporate Aaron?
Oh, yes.
This lady gave me Psychic Aaron.
Mm.
And Psychic Aaron is a psychic and astrologist.
Mm-hmm.
And proceeds to pull cards in doom and gloom.
When I tell you every tarot card was nothing but doom, destruction, mayhem, heartbreak, chaos, negativity,
when that bitch
maelstrom,
said, she goes, is it going to work for us? And she was like, Spirit, is this going to work? And that motherfucking 3 of Swords popped out and showed niggas.
And mind you, how it popped out, it just fell out. Like, woo, I had to get out the deck.
Everybody can go do your research on the 3 of Swords. But it literally jumped out the window, okay?
Yeah.
It jumped out the window. Michael Ealy, doom and motherfucking gloom. Stop. Blanket.
No one wants to talk about how traumatic that shit was.
No, because I can't look at when Michael Ealy hung Megan Good in that goddamn video. I was like, everybody's fixated on Jonathan Cropmaster, motherfucking whatever his last
Bagger Vance.
boneless suit. Everybody is focused on Black Huckleberry Finn. I was like, no, I can't get this evil nigga out of my spirit.
Nickelberry Finn. Yeah. Yeah.
Ooh, Michael Ealy.
No one wants to address that. He'll never, even when he came up on Being Mary Jane, I'm like, you the nigga that threw them kids.
You threw them kids out the window. But Psychic Aaron told her every way but German that this is not gonna work.
Yeah. Yeah.
And this bitch burst into fucking tears, but we all
like
know
Florida Evans.
she's going to ignore all of this information, and Spirit is going to kick her ass.
Because Patrice told her, like, the spirit guides are telling me no.
When you directly go against what you innately know in your belly, Shundo, I don't care what you subscribe to. I'll be a church, a medium. I don't care who you subscribe to. Your spirit, your angels, your guides, God, everybody's going to kick your ass for directly going against what you know to be extremely bad for you. So this is not going to fare well. And you let this nigga adopt your child. And this nigga told us already, we didn't even address this, that he's planning on cheating on her when he gets out.
I totally forgot about that.
He said, he goes, yeah, I got people I got to see and things I've got to take care of because I've been missing.
He's the type to, like, show up to a woman's house and be like, you owe me pussy.
Yeah, drop them drawers. Yeah.
Yeah.
Barry White, take off that brassiere, my dear, but like real creepy, not sexy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Either way, you know, everybody and their mama from this realm and the next are telling her, no, this isn't going to work. And she's going to ignore it.
Yeah.
And I am. Where it's horrible for her son is wonderful for us because I'm thoroughly entertained.
I cannot wait to see the pictures flying off the wall in her house and spinning around in circles.
And I know there's real Starcasm, the Jasmine brand. Get it up. Let us know.
Come on, the craft. I can't wait. I'm ready for the house to can't wait.
Oh my goodness. Well, friends, that concludes today's episode of Love After Lockup recap.
Yeah.
Again, every subsequent recap after this will be on our Patreon.
Yes.
So let's go subscribe, $9.99 or $12.99. Yeah. Anything else to close out?
Free all oppressed people.
Yeah. Until next time.
Yes, we're moving on.